Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing the official Rainbow Six Siege X operator tier list. This is going to be just for solo queue only. You can still kind of judge like how good an operator is. Like obviously, for example, Azami, she's going to be S tier solo queue. She's going to be S tier in general. Like if you're with a stack or whatever. But since I mainly do like solo queue here on the channel, that's going to be like the tier list for today. Check out that series if you haven't already, by the way, too. A lot of great tips throughout the full matches I do. A lot of good stuff in there. We're making great progress as well. Should be another one of those videos tomorrow. Okay, so as you can see here, the operators are in alphabetical order, but they're going to be for attack first. And then right here is where defense starts. So once we finish up the attackers, I'll clear this whole thing out, and then we'll start with the defense. I'll try to remember to link this tier list, by the way, in the comments or the description if you want to do this yourself. Okay, starting out though, since we are going through every operator in the game, I think there's like 75. I'm going to be pretty quick with explaining like what I think and like where I put these. Just remember, this is all personal preference. Everybody's tier list is going to be different at the end of the day. No one's is going to be alike, so if you disagree or agree, just tell me in the comments. Just be civil about it and don't go like yelling at me or something. Okay, so starting out with Ace, obviously Ace is going to go right up to S tier. Definitely the best solo queue hard breach you can run. The most flexible, kind of just a fragger, but with hard breach as well. You can even destroy like shields and stuff with his hard breaches. If it's not jammed like the wall, you can go below on a soft surface, get rid of like the bandits that way. Or even make a hole so you can shoot the Cades. Just so much you can do with Ace. Great gun, one of the best in the game. I think the best in the game, personally. Okay, Amaru, this is going to be a bit controversial right off the rip, I think, but I'm going to put her in B. If you're solo queuing, you kind of got to be like a one-man army, or a one-woman army in this case. So I feel like Amaru's actually pretty good. So she has the GA, 50 bullets, obviously one of the better guns you can have. She has either stuns or hard breaches, so multiple things you can do there. And then you can even have a Gon 6 or a secondary shotgun, which I would usually bring. If you're going to like rush or something with a shotgun though, maybe use the SMG-11. But yeah, if you play her right and actually use her for just like fast taking map control in solo queue, I think she actually is pretty good. Okay, with Ashe, I'm going to put Ashe in A tier. She is pretty good. She's kind of hard to rank. Like some rounds she can be S obviously, then some rounds you don't really get much out of her at all. If the defense doesn't bring the actual like proper utility, then I'll have like Mira, you know. But at the end of the day, she is still 3-speed, R4C. One of the best guns in the game again as well. And I think A is probably a good spot for her. I do play Ashe quite a bit in my videos, so I'll be taking like how I play them too, by the way. So like, for example, I don't really play shields, so I don't know how good they are, so I'll try to rank them for you guys, but it's kind of tough for me since I'm not really a shield player. Speaking of shields, our next two ops actually. Blackbeard, I think he's probably better for solo queue than other shields, since he still have a gun, of course. I really don't like it, like I said, but I'm going to put Blackbeard in like B tier. I don't think you can play him like every round. Unless you're like the most insane shield player in the game, then sure, maybe he's like A or S tier, but again, just for me personally, I think he's like B. Probably above Amaru, I'd say. Kind of like that. Blitz, I'd probably put like C. Again, if you're solo queue and like solo pushing with Blitz, I don't think you're going to get anywhere if the other team's good. A lot of the times in my solo queue matches, when I see a Blitz, it's a bad thing because they always just run in and die first. Once again, a lot of personal preference here, but moving on to Brava, I think she is actually really great for solo queue. Do I put her in S tier? I think I do. The only problem is if your team's one of those kind of teams that just rush in and die first, and you'll probably be in like a 2v5 with like 40 seconds into the round trying to use your Bravas. That's the only downside, but especially with this new ban system, a lot of times Fenrir goes unbanned, Capcan will go unbanned, you know, stuff like that for her to hack. And I've been seeing a lot of Maestro picks too, it feels like, so I think Brava is actually pretty good. And for solo queue, like I said, the op has to be able to do it all. She has the shotgun, secondary, really good main gun, and then either claymores or smokes, which is also good for solo queue. Okay, moving on to Buck. I would normally put Buck in S tier. I think like every time I would have done one of these, but since he doesn't really have the Gon 6 now, he doesn't have the grenades, he can't really destroy utility. So he's kind of behind Ashe in my opinion. Ashe could even make some soft vert if you need it. but I just don't think Buck is really the greatest in solo. I think he is really great with the team still, got to be like S tier, but yeah, I don't think he's the best now in solo. He used to be back in the day when he had the Gone 6, like I said. Especially when Sledge was really bad. Now Sledge has grenades even, so he's like a little better. But like when Buck had the Gone 6 and Hard Breaches, he was so good in solo queue. He had to be like number 1. Capitao. Capitao again, so underrated. I really want to put him in S tier. It's tough. I don't want to put like everybody in S tier. But there are a lot of really good solo queue ops right now. Like maybe I shouldn't have Brava in S now that I'm thinking about it. Since like if they don't pick the right ops, Brava's kind of useless. I put her top of A, like very top. I say kind of useless, she can still like hack default cams or whatever. They usually always have 1 BP. But I think there's just better choices a lot of times. Just kind of depends on your play style again, like how your teammates are playing. But yeah, I'll do this. Capitao has the Gone 6, so he can destroy some util. He has fires, smokes. You can have claymores or EMPs or hard breaches. So like he has to be like the most versatile op. He has to be S tier. Just has to be. Deimos for solo queue, probably one of the best, if not the best. Well, I know who I'm gonna put the best, but Deimos is gonna be right up there, man. You can track literally anyone. So if your teammates happen to ping like their whole team, or even you ping a few guys, like it's even such good ghost pressure, like when they're trying to fight your teammates and you scan them. Because now it's constantly saying they're pinged, they're worried about where you are, they don't even know where you are. So yeah, I think it's good information. I think Deimos gotta be like up there in S tier. I know I'm gonna get a comment saying like, why don't I play Deimos if he's one of the best stops for solo queue, but it's kind of not my play style personally. I do have to play him more though, I will say that. I've got to take advantage of Deimos more. A lot of times this season, weirdly enough, they haven't been banning Dokkaebi as much though, and that's of course my main for solo, so yeah, just sticking out more Dokkaebi, trying other ops. But yeah, I'll get on the Deimos, don't worry. Speaking of Dokkaebi, I think she has to go right up to first place. A lot of bias here, since of course, like I said, my main's Dokkaebi, so I just really love the SMG-12, love the DMR. You got stuns. The calls are like the biggest thing for info. You just don't want to be on your drones too much because then your teammates are all going to fall around you. You want to push with them to try to, take advantage of your teammates being there. And not be in a 1v5 every round. So got to play fast in Dokkaebi, I think. I think another do-it-all op in solo queue. I mean, do-it-all. I use that loosely. She can't really do too much. She has grenades, though. Can stem your entire team, which is helpful. Sometimes even if you catch a guy going down on your team, if you stem fast enough, they could even get back up in time. I'll probably put her like... I don't know if I can put her ahead of Buck. Just because Buck is still so good for like the vertical. I just don't really do much vertical in solo queue. It's kind of tough doing that and having to watch the flank yourself every now and then, like get on your drone and check. Ooh, Flores. I love me some Flores in solo queue. I'll probably put him near the top of A tier. Very top heavy on the list so far, but that's kind of how I expect this to be. I don't think there's a lot of like terrible ops right now. Yeah, I like Flores there. 4 Flores drones, of course. A lot of utility you can get with that. I've been loving playing him on like border on the bathroom teller site, just destroying everything on that main window. Come back later and it's like a free jump. You can do that on a lot of sites though. Good castle counter as well. People love castle. So yeah, I think that's a good spot. Okay, Fuse. I know there's some Fuse lovers out there. I'm sorry. I just don't think Fuse is that useful in solo queue. Like you can just do what he does with his clusters with other ops like grenades or Gone 6 or whatever. Like again, I don't really like playing Vert, so Fuse is not going to be the op for me, but I know he can have some use still. I've even seen Fuse play in like 1 or 2 Pro League rounds here and there, but I don't know, man. For solo queue, I think they're just better options. I know he does have hard breaches too. He is pretty good at Vert, but I mean, I'm putting him in C. I'm not putting him lower than that. Having the best gun in the game does help too. Okay, now that I'm seeing this, I'm going to move Blitz down to D tier. I got to have some people here, just to fill out the tier list. I just would never really go Blitz ever. I don't think I've played him 1 round in my solo queue history on this channel. So can I really have him any higher than D tier? Okay, Glass, kind of down here with Fuse. I'd rather play Fuse than Glass because of the gun. Glass does have some uses. If I ever get like the bank and basement again sometime soon, I'll try to like play him on that one for you guys. He is good for taking the garage. He has some other good uses, like I said too, but he does need teamwork. Not really a solo queue operator. Again, not the worst though. That's why he's still C. I'm gonna put Gridlock top of B tier. I want to put her A tier personally, but I'm gonna not let my bias get the best of me. Just for her personally, because I think she's kind of average. She's good, but on the average side of good. Okay, I've changed my mind. I'm putting her bottom A tier. She's kind of up there with Finka. They both have grenades. I think Gridlock's ability is better in solo queue. But that can be like argued both ways as well. She's a little slower though. Finka's gun's probably better, the LMG, but the F90 is also really good. So I think Gridlock is a good solo queue op still. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Finka and Gridlock here. I think they're kind of around like Blackbeard more so. I don't think they should be up there in A tier. I might change that later on though. This is just so tough to do a tier ranking. Like you could put a lot of these ops in multiple tiers. So yeah, it's tough. In my opinion, the game is very well balanced right now. Maybe outside of like shields, if you're like playing 5 stacks or whatever. Shields can be really annoying and OP, but outside of that, I think the meta is actually really good right now. You can play a lot of ops. I mentioned it earlier, but if you guys did watch Comp Ever, you could see they play a lot of different operators. Like you'll see some flashy Rayora strats, some Sin strats. Like you'll see like pretty much most ops played. Like I seen Cali the other day. Okay, moving on to Grim. Grim is very good for solo queue. Again, not going to let my bias affect me because I'm not really a Grim player. I do need to play him more though for sure. I'll probably put him like right here middle of A tier. Very, very good for info. Good gun too with a 5.52, and you get some hard breaches or claymores, I believe. And he also has EMPs. So yeah, good operator for solo queue for sure. I'll try to get some game playing with him sometime. Habana, I think Habana's one of the weaker hard breachers for solo. I kind of think that about Thermite too, but that's for later. I'll put Habana like, they're really struggling with us. I keep convincing myself too. I'm going to put Gridlock above Finka. I just feel like the Gridlocks are more valuable. So it kind of outweighs it. No pun intended. Okay, Yana. Immediately I'm going to put her in D tier with Blitz. I don't think Yana's very good for solo. It just takes too long to use her things. There's so much better ways of gathering info and intel than Yana. Like drones are just way too slow. Like just go Dokkaebi, Deimos, Grim. There's so many good ways to do that than go like Yana. If Yana had like grenades or something, or even like the Gon 6, maybe she can bump up a tier or two, but I just don't think she's very good in this meta right now. IQ, I'm going to put above Armor, I think kind of like right here for her. Maybe above Habana. A little bit of bias can be here. I like IQ better than Blackbeard, so I'll put it right here, kind of with Finka too. Grenades, good gun, same as Grim. And yeah, I think she can be good on some sites. I like her on Bank. Jackal, I think Jackal's kind of terrible now. Not terrible. I'm overreacting there, but his pings aren't as good as anymore in CJX, so I'm going to put him behind Fuse. I think Fuse actually is maybe more valuable than Jackal. Now, I'll put Jackal ahead just because solo queue again. At least you can kind of walk around and know where the enemies have been. Some sort of intel, it's better than Yana, so I think that's a good spot for Jackal. Callie, I know there's always some Callie lovers in my comments. She's not like bad either. Like I just think all the other ops that are above her are like usually better. So I'll put her like bottom B tier. I think she can actually be useful though, so like if you use her as sniper, not so much as a sniper, but like utility clear, she can get rid of castles. She can shoot barricades down with her sniper right away. Also that secondary laser beam that she has, kind of like a pocket F2, that thing's insane. So yeah, just for all that combined, I think she's B tier. She's solid. Lion for solo queue, not the best really. Has grenades still though, especially if you play off of his gadget really well, like push at the correct time. I think Lion can be solid too. I'm I'm gonna put him, sorry, right behind Callie. I'll put him in front. Yeah, I think that works. Bonna's kind of like Callie too, the way she can clear like castles. I'm thinking like Jim on Clubhouse. Okay, Maverick I think is pretty weak in solo queue. I'll put him in like C tier. Just don't really think you can get too much done with Maverick. Like at the end of the day, you have a torch. So unless you're like Mav-tricking every wall, which is still really good. People don't really ban Maverick. They ban like, at least in my games, they've been banning Ace. Then they ban Therm. Sometimes they'll ban like Ram or Dokkaebi or a Shield. So I think Maverick is good for that. But again, solo queue, you have to rely on your teammates coming over to the wall and like bucking it soft. Sometimes it can be like really good, like A tier or S tier. But then a lot of the time, if you're not relying on that, it can be pretty pointless to run him. Montaigne again, for solo queue, I just don't think shields are that great, besides like Blackbeard maybe. I'll put him like above Yana. It is easier for your teammates, your randoms, to play off Montaigne. Since it's extendable, you kind of just be a human drone, but besides that, I don't think he's that great. Unless, again, you're the nastiest shield player. Okay, Nook, also kind of just average. Don't know if I want to put her like B or C tier. She has grenades. Is really good lurking around in solo queue. I do like playing Nook. So I'll put her above Blackbeard, just off that. Yeah, Nook's solid. I think Nomad definitely has to be like up there with Gridlock. They kind of do the same thing, stuns versus grenades. You can argue a gun is better, maybe. They're both really good. Nomads are better at like actually holding the flank. You can't just shoot the gridlocks or like impact them. Sometimes the Nomads are really hard to see and hear with the CJX sound so far. But usually I think Nomad is better than the Grid. Osa, I know I'm going to get some comments about this, but I think Osa is really, really bad for solo queue. Like, if you're just holding your shield out, they can shoot you and just, like, power you. Like, I see people all the time, my games, playing Osa so wrong. And, like, putting it on a rappel as well and just sitting behind it, like, that's not really doing anything. Like, as long as the defenders don't peek, you're not accomplishing too much. Because you can just do that anyway without the shield. She is good for like some plants, like the server plant on bank or even the top floor on a bank for that wall. But I don't think Osa is that great for solo, personally. I'm going to put her like middle of C tier. She does have grenades, so I think she can be like better than Glass a lot of the time. Ram, I think, is really good for solo queue. You can do a lot of fast plays with Ram, even if it's not like a vertical site. But when it is a vertical site and they haven't banned it, need to take a Ram. Super good for sound cutoffs as well to make plays. And then, of course, you have the R4C and stuns. I'll put Ram above Buck. Somewhere there with Ash. Rayora, one of these teamwork operators again. You can kind of make some crazy plays in the solo queue, though. I'll put her like top C kind of with Fuse there. Man, it's just so hard to judge these like compared to each other. They just do different things, you know? I'm trying not to take too long. I've already taken way too long explaining these so far. I think Synth is slightly better for solo because you got the grenades, but I do actually love the 417 too on both these ops. But yeah, Synth's another teamwork op. A lot of those are going to be pretty low on this. Sledge, I'm going to put above Buck just because I mentioned this earlier, the grenades that he has now. I do like Buck's gun better. And look at that, all three of the main vert ops are right here too. It's funny. Ooh, Striker. Finally another S tier operator. I think Striker is so good for solo queue, man. Just having the grenades, like with stuns or like hard breach with EMPs. You can do vertical even with a shotgun. Great main gun. Okay, Thatcher and Thermite, they're gonna kind of go in their own tier too. I like how they're together here too. That's nice. I'm just gonna put them right in the middle of the B tier here. Well, the middle of the tier list. I think you do need to count on the other operator to get played. Like if you see you don't have a Thatcher and you're trying to go Thermite for like the main chalet basement breach, like it's just not worth it, man. Your randoms are not gonna help you get that. So kind of need to rely on that, but when they do work, it's obviously really, really, really strong. Kind of need the Thermite and Thatcher for those kind of sites, or like an Ace, or if Ace is banned. So I'll put him right there in the B tier. Twitch, really good solo queue operator. Put it right there with like Flores, Brava, kind of the drone intel ops. Yeah, again, do take some time to use these ops. That's why they're not like S tier. If your team all dies around you instantly, they're kind of useless. So yeah, I think that's a good spot for them. Ying for solo queue, not bad. You could make some crazy plays. I'm not really a Ying player. Well, I'll put her like bottom A tier. She has Heartbreach too, I'm pretty sure. That's how little I play Ying. I'm not sure on that, but I think she does. 99% sure. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I think Ying's pretty good. Muzira. I'm gonna put him top of B. This would normally, if this was like a, like just in general tier list and not solo queue, be crazy high for Zura. There's just so many ops that can get what he gets done faster and just more efficiently. But when played right, Zero can be a beast in solo. Having 6 cams, you can clear ADSs with those. Great gun, of course. Great guns, I should say. Even a Gone 6 with Heartbreach is like, he can do pretty much everything. That's why I'm putting him in a B tier. He can be really good, so. That's why a lot of ops in like B tier, even like C tier, they can be really good. But just like on the average round, you're probably better off picking most of these ops. Okay, Zofia. I think Zofia's good in solo queue. I'll put her kind of around here, like mid to lower A tier. I do wish she was a little bit faster still. Being a 3 armor is so slow, man. I was using the LMG one round the other day on Cafe, and it felt like I was the slowest op ever that I've ever played in this game. Feels like I was like walking through quicksand. It was really bad. But yeah, not too bad still. Great utility and clear, kind of like Ashe. So yeah, that's going to be the attackers. Nobody in F tier. That's kind of what I was expecting. I don't think there's any like garbage operators you can really play, especially in solo queue. Yeah, lowest 3 out of some like shields, and I don't think they're very good for solo. And then Yana, of course. Again, tell me in the comments what you think different. Yeah, it's personal preference. Okay, so I kind of didn't know what to do with these attacker icons, so I just threw them all in ignore, so just don't worry about that. We still have our main tiers here for the defenders. Okay, Alibi, I'm going to stick right in C tier. Not really the best. You can go crazy with her still because her gun is so good, but again, it's not the best utility-wise. You do have a shotgun pistol and proxies, but there's just better options. Aruni, I think Aruni is really great for solo queue. I'll put her top of A tier for now. Only A tier for now, but you know what I mean. A lot of util though on her. You can do 3 gates and then 2 barbs still. DMR goes crazy. I just swapped my controller and I'm really feeling DMRs now. Finally got a new one, so really excited for that. Izami S tier. I think we mentioned her before the video even started, saying she's going to be S tier regardless. So yeah, we're right up there at the top. I don't think Izami needs any explanation. Bandit, I'm going to put A tier for now. We'll see what happens, but I've been finding a lot of useful ways to like play Bandit in solo queue, using barbed wire as well, which probably sounds crazy to a lot of you. But I do think he's actually pretty good. Kind of like Skyscraper for holding Office Exhibition on T, and then like Clubhouse for holding the other side when it's gym site. I think he is really good at wasting time and kind of bunkering down like that with his batteries. And I've been really liking the MP7. So Castle for solo queue, I'm going to put B. Kind of just really good to average tier. Not really good, but you know, good to average. A lot of better picks. Not the greatest gun. If you have to like 1v4 the other team every round because your team just dies in solo queue. So the gun is really important. If you do good castle setups though, you can be really good, like A or S tier. A lot of the times my randoms will bring out like F tier setups, man. It just makes it so much harder for me to do anything with that. Kind of just traps you out of sight or blocks a crucial line of sight or something. Cav, I'm going to put Cav in C tier, kind of lower. I don't even think she's that bad. You can make really good use of Cav Having the shotgun especially, you can sight set up with that thing so fast shooting with that shotgun. Procs their impacts, and yeah, if the other team does not really have the best coordination, Cav can really take advantage of that. Okay, Clash is like the biggest unknown for me. I've not played her one time in solo queue. I've only played her a couple times in general, and that was like quick match when she was first getting released. So I could not tell you where Clash goes, man. I think she's pretty good. I'm gonna put her like lower B tier. Maybe someday I'll experiment with her. But yeah, just not my style, like I was saying on the attacker shields. Okay, Doc. I'm gonna put Doc kind of like below a Rooney. Kind of do the similar thing. Got the Barb, or the BP. Got the ability to make like lines of sight or rotates. I've been loving the P90, man. Like personally, I would have Doc S tier, but there are just better options. And just in general, Doc wouldn't be this high if it wasn't a solo queue, I don't think. Yeah, he's a good one-man army, though, in the defense. You can really bunker down with that thing. Okay, Echo, I'm going to put kind of in the middle of B tier 2. One of my favorite operators to play. Just not the best sometimes because the util, you don't have any barb, no traps. You kind of got to be on your drones, and then a lot of the times you're trying to drive your drones around or like set them up, your team's going to be dead, and you know, so unlike the attackers like Brava, Twitch. So kind of just that problem, but Echo can be crazy good still. Great gun too. Okay, on to Ella. Ella, I'm gonna put in S tier. I don't think I did this before off my bias, but I'm going to now. I think her gun is insane. Having 40 bullets, barbed wire, and Ella mines. And if you don't even want the barb, you can take impacts, set up sight kind of with those. Still have 3 traps, but I really like playing her with a 5. I think she can really do some damage in solo queue. And she can help out your teammates to cover like pretty much every gap with all those traps. Okay, Fenrir, I'm going to put top of A. I think you're better off going like Ella or even like Legion or something over Fenrir because you can only have 2 of your traps active at once, but it is still really, really powerful if you play off them correctly. You're just kind of hoping they push where your Fenrirs are. Then you have a BP as well. If you had Bar before, I'd probably put him in S tier with Ella, having that many traps. But yeah, I think he still is really great. He doesn't really get banned now, like I was saying. So okay, Frost, I'm gonna put like B tier. Frost is really good at setting up sight and then having the mats as well. But the guns is not the best. Really good with ACOG, of course, but I think there are better selections than Frost, kind of like a Rooney or Doc. Again, just for solo queue purposes as well. I'll actually put her above Castle. I do like the gun slightly more, so I'll give her that. Not as long of a setup time too, which Castle can be annoying with in solo. Because a lot of times your teammates will not be watching common interests that fast. And you'll just die trying to set up still. Okay, Goyo, just for the gun, man, he has to be S tier. Like, Goyo is insane for solo queue, just running around with that. You'll see Goyo in like every round of ranked you play. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised soon if like Doc, Goyo, some of those ops like that, you lose their ACOGs because they're played so often in ranked. Really good time waste if you do play the fighters right as well. Kind of like I do on Border on the top floor if you watched that before. Yeah, I think Goyo is really powerful. Okay, Jaeger just for solo queue isn't the best. I think he's gotten better now. He can stop Capital bolts if you didn't know. That was introduced in the CJX. But I don't know. Besides like maybe garage rafters, he is good at power spots with his ADSs. Maybe just like stack 2 or 3. But there are better picks in solo queue. He can't like set up sight really. His gun kind of can, but not really. So I'll put him in B. Okay, Cade, I'm gonna have a head of Bandit, probably like right here. I put him like top of A tier kinda. I think Cade is really good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I gotta put Fenrir in S tier. That's kind of man, it's just so hard to judge these. I'm putting Cade here though, because if you take the shotgun, you can set up sight, so already better than like Bandit. You can Cade trick. Combine if one of your teammates happen to be 2 brow. Again, can't really rely on that in solo, but it can work out sometimes. Okay, Capcan, I'll put like top B tier. in general, I think Capcan is still really good when you play him every now and then, but I mean, everybody knows what to expect now of Capcan, so I think he's good in spots on certain sites. Maybe whip him out like one round every game or something. Legion right up to S tier, kind of with Ella. So many traps, man, you can throw around. You can set up site with Legion, got a BP, amazing gun with a T5. Legion's got to be like one of my favorites to play. Kind of tempted to put him above a zombie. But again, a zombie's so good too, man. Impacts, barb, and like 5 Kivas. These are probably 2 of the best ops. We'll see if anybody else rivals them. But okay, Maestro for solo queue. If you can get it done correctly, the site setups will take a long time to get all your cams down and stuff. But he can actually be pretty decent in some sites. I like him on Cafe top floor. But again, just site setup so long, man. There's better guns than the Alda, even though the Alda is pretty good still. Melusi, I'm going to put her in S tier as well. Kind of the same trap kind of ideology here. That's why I like these ops so much up here in S tier. For me personally, I'll put Melusi there. I like that. Yeah, shotgun like Legion as well. Not the best gun. Mira just for solo queue, I'll put her like B tier as well. I don't really like playing Mira in solo queue as much, because if you do play Mira, that probably means you're going to be on your Mira. So you can't really hold a round sight, you're going to be right in the middle. All they have to do to counter your Mira, Ash Charge, Twitch Drone randomly, a Smoke Grenade, a Bana Ace. There's just so many ways to counter it. I just don't think in solo queue putting yourself there to where you can't really get flexible and move around is the best choice. I'm actually going to put her like here. Okay, Mozzie. I haven't really ran Mozzie in so long in solo queue, so I don't really know. I'm going to put him in B tier. I do think he's probably pretty good in theory with a 4 pass now. Even impacts if you want him. Kind of help you on the roam rather than the C4. I don't know. I think Mozzie's probably around there. Okay, Mute. I'm taking my bias out. I don't really play Mute too often, but when I do, I actually enjoy playing him. He's got to be like S tier though. Mute is so good. You can do everything with Mute. Probably put him like right there. You can bring Mute every site, every round, and you'll be perfectly fine. Oryx, I'm going to put in like C tier. He's kind of like the Amaru on defense. Maybe a little worse though, because his gun isn't quite up there with the G8. But it does have the T5 still. You can run around, get crazy. You got Barb. Probably can pull off some crazy flanks too with like ranged coordination against an Oryx. Pulse, I don't think Pulse is very good for solo queue. Unless they happen to play right in your hands where you're pulsing. Like, he can still be valuable. I mean, everybody can here. I won't be that mean. I'll put him in lower C. You can probably get some useful stuff out of him. Rook, I am debating putting in D. I know there are some Rook enjoyers out there, but like, you're helping your team out around you, but I really don't think you can carry enough in solo queue with Rook. Great gun, but like, you have no gadget then at that point. Maybe like proxies if you take those. But I mean, just so many better options than Rook, in my opinion. You'll never see me playing Rook in a solo queue match. Okay, Sentry. Not as good as Striker for sure. The attacker version. Probably put him like middle of B tier, middle of the pack kind of. Can still get some use out of that, like barbed wire, then have a C4. I like doing that C4 trap on the basement of club. I think that's a good spot. Smoke I'll put right at the top of A tier. Really great operator still there. Now that I'm seeing it too, I think I gotta put Goyo top A. Like, you can go so crazy with his gun, but his gadget just isn't good enough to put him up there, I don't think. I don't know, man. A lot of these ops can be argued for S tier though. I'd say that. Solus I'll put like bottom B tier. Just so you at least know the plant's going on, since your teammates aren't telling you it's happening. If you can like get some good use out of her, shoot a lot of drones early on in the round, and then eventually make your way downstairs for the plant, and there's like no time, I think she can be good, but that's a lot of stuff that has to go right, so. If she still had impacts, probably like A or S, but I think that's a pretty good spot for her. I'm being generous. Okay, Tachanka, I'm throwing in D tier. I actually do like Tachanka, but for solo queue, I would just, I don't know, man. I'd just go other things. If you're having to use your fire launcher, that means you don't have a gun out, and the attackers can pretty much just push through. You know your teammates aren't going to be holding them because it's random solo queue teammates, and you're going to be dead. So might as well just play any other op, but his gun is really good, the other one, if you don't take the one that shoots the holes in the walls, the 9x19 or whatever. That gun's crazy with an ACOG. Maybe off that, actually, I'll put him in the C tier. Now that I remember that existed. Actually, no, because Rook also has an ACOG, so I'm going to be fair. Someone has to be in the D tier, man. Like, I don't really play these ops. Okay, I'm going to be fair. I'm putting Pulse here, too. Like, again, I don't play Pulse, man. Personal preference, like, sure, you can maybe put him B tier, but just not my thing, and I don't think he's really worth it ever. Like, I wouldn't recommend people to play Pulse. I don't know, I just think you kind of need teamwork, kind of like Solus. Like, I'm tempted to even drop Solus to C, but at least she has the P90 compared to the UMP. Okay, Thorn, just for all the traps that she has, I'll put her like bottom C tier instead of something lower. Having Barb and 3 of those Thorns is pretty good for info. Normally, though, I'd probably have her lower if this is a actual tier list, not just solo queue. Thunderbird, I'm going to put literally right around Thorn. She is better now since they regenerate during the round. I'll actually put her like here. Kind of like an average spot. Just don't like her gun at all either. I don't really play Thunderbirds, so. But I can see where the value is there. I just say, though, I'd rather play Doc in every single round if Doc is up. Okay, I think Two-Brow, he's definitely better with a team, of course, holding the breach. But if your teammate's not doing that, then Two-Brow's not really the best. Still good for, like, holding, like, areas. You can even use the freezes as, like, traps. A lot of the times your teammates will run, like, Kaid or Bandit. Okay, Valkyrie gonna go up to S tier. I mean, Valkyrie's always been like one of the best ops on defense. Yeah, I mean, the Alibi is still reigning supreme for me. Number 4 spot right now. Okay, Vigil, not really the best solo queue. I'll put him like above Oryx. He has the spots, kind of like Oryx does. And yeah, great guns. You have 60 plus bullets, counting both of them, so that's pretty crazy. Definitely a good gunner. Just not really bringing anything to the team or for yourself. Well, I'll put like top B tier. If he had his ACOG still, that'd be crazy. I missed the Wamai ACOG. But I think he's still really good in spots. I like him on Cafe Bakery, so I'll hold him top of B. Warren, kind of the same spot. I'll put him like right here below Wamai. Some rounds for sure, like Oregon Bunker, he can be like S tier. Probably need a Warren there, but since it's solo queue, you're not really getting the most util out of the Warden, just the guns, and then a C4 or a shield. So I think he's like B. Scopos, I think you make some pretty crazy plays with Scopos, personally. Debating whether or not I want him or Sentry higher. I'll put him just because of the versatility. You can still bring procs if you really want those over impacts, but probably want the impacts. Amazing gun, though. I'm actually going to put him above Castle just for solo queue and Frost. There, I like that. Yeah, a lot of B tier ops for defense here. I play so many defenders, man. Like, if you watch my videos, like, every game could be something different. Yeah, since I play so many, that's why the rankings is a bit more varied, I'd say. 6 S tier ops, more than the attackers. Again, a lot of these ops can move around a tier or 2, up and down. All personal preference at the end of the day. That being said, I hope you did enjoy this and find it helpful. Again, tell me everything you think about it in the comments. Tell me what you agree with, disagree with, and then pretty much why. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.